Hello, my name is Yuri Villas-Boas, and this is a demo of Great Wallet, your final solution for the problem of range attack. Don't threaten me. We all know BIP39. 12 words, as few as 12 words, are able to convey enough information to protect us against brute force. And you can store an arbitrary amount of Bitcoin in it. The problem with that is this is explicit information. Language on excellence is a tool to make information explicit. And the problem of using that to store value is that either the piece of paper, the metal plate, the electronic device, or your very brain containing that information by design becomes a target, particularly a target of range attack. So how to solve it, right? And my solution is this: make the information not explicit, meaning not possible to convey even if you want. So an information that is not explicit is tacit, is called tacit. So let us see how it works. Here I can reopen the application. And what it is doing now is to take each one of the bits of the seed and mapping them into halves, the choosing of halves in a fractal, allocation of fractal. Again, it's doing because I clicked in it. So I selected this point. So it's redoing all the steps. So I map the information contained in the BIP39 seed phrase into location in a fractal. And that will cause the information to become, this new format is not explicit anymore. It's tacit. And because it's tacit, it's impossible to put into words. So even if I want, I'm not able to convey it to a range attacker. So let us do it. This is the leaf of this tree here. Here we have only depth equals 66, which is half of how many bits are there in a BIP39 seed phrase. So we will need 2 such processes. Okay. Now we can go back to initial area. Initial area is here represented in yellow, and it's divided into 2 because it's a binary tree. So every time we move forwards, we select one of the halves given the bit. The bit tells us, each bit tells us which half to choose. And this is how it works. Sometimes the halves are way too unbalanced. When that happens, we discard the larger half and do not count a bit, so not to lose entropy. Okay, so we just discard this larger one and move forward. So now 2 steps have been done actually. Okay, so we move forwards, and if we do that 66 times, if we do that 66 times, we get to the final area, aka the leaf of that branch of that tree. Okay, so keep dividing into 2 and then choosing 1/2, dividing into 2 and choosing 1/2. The process of dividing into 2, so choosing 1/2 is clear, right? We just use the bit to define which half we choose. Now the process of tracing this medium here is given by the good points here. this is the median of the good points found, a sample good points found statistically. And this is all deterministic, of course. It has to be deterministic. And it is also has been implemented in Rust to maximize, to have the absolute standards in determinism, because all the arithmetic here is very much chaotic. So Rust has been chosen as implementation because of that, implementation language for that. So yeah, so on we go, and then on and on. So if we do that 66 times, eventually we will get into the final area there. And every time we do that, by the way, we shift the center of the current area, the current view here, okay? So either we shift it horizontally or vertically. So one of the coordinates change every time I click it. So this is just to visualize, and here's the selected point apparently, right? Okay, so this is to visualize the process of mapping, here it is, mapping a string of bits into a location in a fractal. Make sense? So just a few more, and here we have it. The one below, right? Okay, the one below, like that. Okay. Now, what I will show to you is I am able to recover those coordinates with enough precision by navigating in a fractal renderer. That doesn't even need to be this one, just needs to convey the same fractal. So if I go to another fractal renderer, imagine that could be like another wallet, right? Implementing the same protocol, right? This is just another fractal renderer. Let us zoom out. This is in fact a fractal renderer, nothing to do with Bitcoin or something. Okay, so another fractal renderer for you. Okay, now what I will do is I will navigate doing zoom in and out and left and right, up and down, and I will recover the same image and the same coordinates up to enough precision to match the bits. Okay, so let us do that, shall we? Okay, so first I find this valley, and then this, those two holes here, and I find this axis of symmetry. So the point of all that, effectively what I'm doing is, this is just a way to convert bits into something else. This is a weird something else, a weird format for a short array of bits, a 132 array of bits, an array of only 132 bits. A very weird way to convey those bits, right? But why am I doing that? Because this is tacit. This is tacit. If I want to describe it without this very fractal loaded, if it is another fractal, then I don't have the actual fractal loaded. If I don't have that very fractal loaded with all the precision bits, all the precision decimal places here, unless and until I have it loaded, I cannot deploy that knowledge that is in fact in my brain. So I have a device, my brain, that contains information that is untransmissible. Meaning, even if I want to, because I am under coercion, I cannot transmit the information. So let us see that. Okay, again, I see this axis of symmetry here. Focus here. Okay, and find then this horseshoe thing here. Maybe addition will speed up this demo. Here, actually here. This one here, yes, okay. And then I find this axis of symmetry here and go all the way in this one other horseshoe, that one, with these little things here below. Fine. And then I find this other axis of symmetry and go all the way to this horseshoe here. What else is interesting about this system is that it's a perfect logarithm. If I try to put into words that, right, I'm taking as reference points objects that are all self-similar. So if I take one wrong, and also because it's a fractal, all the subsequent reference points will match. So I'm not able to tell, the attacker will not be able to tell he got a wrong turn at any point, because it's a perfect logarithm. Okay, and yet I am able to, as you will see, I am able to retrieve it. Okay, so on we go. So this is the process of my opening a very important wallet, a wallet that I have to secure because I don't know, it contains my retirement, the inheritance I will leave for my children, or you know, a large amount, right? An amount that is worth protecting against range attacks. Okay, so here we have it, and then I find this arc here, and then this one individual, you know, piece of something, and in this corner here, upper right corner, I focus on here. This is very much resembling of a Rorschach test in which you use pareidolia all the time to, you know, activate your memory and use pareidolia to memorize as a like implicit mnemonics, right? Which again are tacit. So it's mnemonic, but it's not explicit, it's tacit all the way, right? So, and then I take this, like, I don't know, Rorschach test moment here, right? This kind of horn thing. And I find this triangle here, and I focus on this triangle, and finally got this location here. Okay, let us see the comparison, and voila, right? Very good, very good. The upper one is here, more or less like that. Amazing, right? Doesn't have enough precision in the zoom, but okay, it's good enough. This object here is more or less in the center. Okay, now, moment of truth. We will compare those coordinates with what we had. This, of course, comes from another running of this demonstration. So this is 10 to the minus 1, so let us adjust the comma. So 0 point, and then, sorry, the floating point, yeah. And then, now for the y coordinate. And then we have this. Okay. Okay, now let us see how many decimal places we have been able to recover, shall we? Okay, so for the first coordinate, so 2, 3, 1, 7, 2, 9, 5, 5, 6, and we got a discrepancy here. So, and then for the next we have, yes, 1, 0, 2, 8, 2, 4, 4, 6, 3, 7, 3, 7, and discrepancy. Okay, very consistent, right? So let us count how many decimal points, decimal digits we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So all in all, 20 decimal places. So that 20 decimal places, right? If we take log base 2 of 10 and then multiply by 20, this is equivalent to, voila, 66 bits as intended, QED. Okay, so we have managed to convey with this exactly 66 bits. So this is half. This is half a 12 words BIP39 sentence. The order, before you wonder, right? A BIP39 sentence has double that, has 132 bits, not 66. The other half was not used in this zoom in this location. The reason being, we have two inputs like that. The first one would be in a canonical fractal. This is a trivial formula, the canonical formula. Now, the first input will be hashed into a very long hash with many iterations, like trillions of iterations, and the result of it will be the input to your private fractal. Okay, an input like that. Okay, so after doing that once, you get your private planet, and so to say, you have to figure out. Okay, this one figure is different than the original. Okay, each one is different. And in this private planet, you have to figure out your private address. Meaning, your wallet will be in the private address of your private planet. The catch is, your private planet takes a long time to be loaded after your first input. And the knowledge of you zooming in your private planet is tacit. Meaning, the attacker gets you, puts a gun against your head, and he has to leave you empty-handed, because you cannot, even if you wanted, you cannot give him what he wants from you. You are not able to transmit the knowledge of your private address of your private planet. And this is how you defeat him. You cannot cooperate. This is how you defeat him, right? And knowing how the system works actually helps you, differently than an obscure solution in which you either use a decoy wallet or you pretend you keep low profile and you pretend you don't have what he wants. You know, those are nice. Those were nice when we as a community were just needles in a haystack. This is no longer true. Everybody cannot be at the same time needles. If everybody's needle, there is no hay. Furthermore, the bad guys already know there are plenty of needles, valuable needles, in the haystack of humanity. And they are, sophisticated enough to learn the tricks, to learn about decoy wallets, to learn about, time locks that you can redirect, just like rewind wallet, etc. So, obscure solutions, they were fine in their time, but this time has passed. We now need anti-obscure solutions, which are anti-fragile, solutions that do not fall apart if knowledge is diffused, because knowledge is always diffused. Our solution improves with knowledge diffusion. So it's anti-obscure, anti-fragile. So anyway, finally, so we have been able to convert a point into a tree, hence BIP39, okay? So both ways work. We select, right, the point, and the coordinate of the point agrees with the node, hence it agrees with the BIP39, at least half of it, right, of the entropy. So we have been able to recover, as demonstrated by the matching of the coordinates. Here's the point, yes? So the point is within the area, hence it agrees with the coordinates and recovers the same string of bits. So I was able to navigate in one fractal, so memorization what is in fact possible, and the verbalization, the description is impossible. Hence, I was able to memorize tacit knowledge enough to built enough entropy for a Bitcoin wallet. Hence, I was immune to, have become immune to range attacks. So thank you for your attention and interest. And